Shalom uvracha, Yerushalayim Ir HaKodesh. This evening, with the help of Hashem, we study together the Haftarah of Parshat Bamidbar. Our Haftarah prophetic reading is taken from the second chapter of the book of Hosea. In our Haftarah, we read of the inspiring prophecy of Hosea, speaking of the great reunification of Hashem, of God, with the Jewish people in the most beloved of ways. In a certain sense, says the prophet, God will marry the nation of Israel, and they will live with great blessings of security and happiness. I've often been intrigued by the particular word that is used in our Haftarah to describe this marriage relationship, so to speak, between God and Am Yisrael. If you're studying with me and you have a text, it's in the second chapter of Hosea, verse 21, where we read, Ve'erastich li le'olam, and I will betroth you to me forever. Ve'erastich li le'olam. Ve'erastich. Is that the proper biblical word for marriage? Erastich? It seems from several biblical sources, as well as many rabbinic sources, that ve'erastich implies only the first step towards marriage. Ve'erastich is the engagement, rather than the marriage. For instance, in the book of Devarim, in the book of Deuteronomy, in several places, we read of the man who betrothed, who was engaged to this woman, but was not yet married. As an example, chapter 20, verse 7 of Deuteronomy, Devarim Perikaf, Umi ha'ish asher eras, that's the term that's used here in Hosea, Umi ha'ish asher eras isha v'lo likaha. And who is the man who was engaged to a woman, who was involved in this erusin, who was betrothed to this woman, but v'lo likaha, but he was not married yet to her? It seems that erusin, it seems that erastich, eras is a step before marriage. Aleph resh sin, seemingly the root of our text, the root of the word in our text, is only the betrothed. Erastich is only engagement, not full marriage. What is meant here in Hosea with the unusual usage of ve'erastich? Ve'erastich li la'olam. Im kvar, az kvar. If the prophet is teaching how deeply all-encompassing and loving will be the connection between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Am Yisrael, why not speak of how God will marry? I will marry you forever. Wouldn't ulekachtichli, which seems to be the more exact term, ulekachtichli la'olam, I will marry you forever. Would that be more appropriate than ve'erastich, which seemingly implies only a level of betrothal and engagement? The prophet employs the usage of this word ve'erastich 3 different times. At the conclusion of our Haftarah, those people following in the text can look at sentences 21 and 22. Ve'erastich li la'olam, ve'erastich li b'tzedek u'b'mishpat v'chesed v'rachamim, ve'erastich li be'emunah. 3 times, ve'erastich, ve'erastich, ve'erastich. In fact, there are many Torah-observant men who have the custom of reciting these very 3 verses as they wind the tefillin straps, as they wind the phylacteries around their finger. The erastich, somehow, it's almost as if symbolically representing maybe the divine engagement ring, the tefillin being ve'eras tichli la'olam, ve'eras tichli, okay, that's beautiful. However, the ring is being used, it's not used for marriage, it's used for betrothal. It's used for kiddushin. It's used for erusin. God is betrothing the divine bride. But why not marrying? And although I have been privileged to meet countless numbers of couples, Baruch Hashem, who have been engaged, this concept of ve'eras tichli la'olam is ever so difficult to understand. I have never, ever met a couple who wants to remain engaged forever. I mean, there's no such thing, right? I mean, okay, one of the first questions that engaged couples discuss with each other, and one of the first questions that people ask them is, so when are you getting married? I mean, that's what it's about, right? The engagement is only a preparatory stage, only a temporary stage towards marriage.
Well, they want to be engaged in married life for the rest of the life.
That could be. It could be. There are many responses, but I'd like to share one school of thought with you. And this school of thought teaches that God is offering us a special insight into the happiest form of true marriage unification. Although Yisrael indeed will be married, so to speak, to God forever, the closeness, the excitement, the electrifying attraction, which is often associated with engagement, will always be there. Ve'eras tichli la'olam. Have you ever sensed the deep levels of love and longing in the eyes, in the hearts, in the souls of engaged couples? On too many occasions, there are married couples who, God forbid, should never happen again, lose those precious levels of excitement, of engagement. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God is promising Am Yisrael that not only will they be remarried to God forever, so to speak, they'll also be engaged and betrothed forever. Never will those exciting feelings wane. Parshat Bamidbar is almost always read on the Shabbat closest to the holiday of Shavout, and this particular message in the Haftarah is very similar to one of the messages connected to one of the verses that we read in the public Torah reading on Shavuot. I'm referring to Exodus chapter 19, which we read on the morning of Shavuot, and we read there about how the Jewish people arrived at Mount Sinai. And it says, Bayom Hazeh, today, Bayom Hazeh, today, Bamidbar Sinai. Today they came to Sinai. Today? This day they came to Sinai? That day they came to Sinai. On this day, on today, they arrived in the Sinai desert. Why does it say Bayom Hazeh rather than Bayom Ahu? Rashi, one of the greatest, if not the greatest of commentaries, paraphrases the question of the sages. Lo hayat tzarich lichtov ela bayom hahu. That day they came to Sinai. They arrived in Sinai on that day. Mahu bayom hazeh. What does it mean? Today they came to Sinai? The answer is, symbolically, conceptually, every day we're supposed to view our connection to Torah, our connection to Sinai, as if we arrived in Sinai today. Shiyu divrei Torah chadashim chavivim alecha. The words of the Torah should be so beloved, so new, so exciting. Ki'ilu hayom nitidan, as if the Torah was given today, not a few thousand years ago. Today we arrived in Sinai. This day we arrived in Sinai. In a certain sense, the Torah was given today. And so, the beloved words of Torah, maybe we have to study the beloved words of Torah with the same excitement and enthusiasm that they were studied on the very first occasion that they were revealed to Am Yisrael. Ve'erastich li la'olam. Never let the fiery love, never let it die out. I once heard from a great rabbi, a great Torah teacher and educator here in Yerushalayim, Harav Yonah Full Shalita. I believe he told me this teaching in the name of the Vilna Gaon, although I think he said he never saw it in writing, he just once heard it, that the traditional pronouncement that takes place at all the ceremonies when there's that moment of legal engagement, the moment of kiddushin. If you've ever been in a traditional wedding ceremony, the groom gives the bride a ring, and before he gives it to her, he says, "Harei at mikudeshet li v'taba'at zo kidat Moshe v'Yisrael." Behold, you are betrothed to me with this ring, in accordance with the laws of Moses and Israel. On the simple interpretation, it means that we're going to live our life, and that this marriage relationship is based on the laws of Moshe and Israel, the laws of the Torah, and the laws of the rabbis. On another level, suggests this commentary, one can translate the statement to mean as follows. I want to get engaged to you. I want our relationship to be Kidat Moshe v'Yisrael. I would like to relate to you, I want to betroth you in the same way that we view the law of Moshe and Yisrael. How is it that we view the law of Moshe and Yisrael? Well, we view the law of Moshe and Yisrael as if Hayom, Kilu Hayom Nitana, the excitement of today. I don't want to be our marriage and we got married yesterday, or last week, or last month, or last year. Today, Hayom Hazeh, Torah Tzivalanu Moshe, Mo Rasha, Kihilat Yaakov. It's an inheritance for the congregation of Jacob. But the rabbis teach in Tractate Pesachim 49b, the Torah is betrothed to Am Yisrael. God, so to speak, is betrothed through the Torah. And every groom is saying to his bride, I want our engagement. I want our kiddushin. I want our erusin. Says every loving groom to his beloved bride. I pray that our marriage be similar to Dat Moshe v'Yisrael. May our erusin, may our engagement be similar to the way that Am Yisrael views the words of the Torah. Hayom hazeh, not bayom hahu. Chadashim v'chavivim, with a certain level of newness, with a certain level of freshness. New and beloved. Our marriage should be one where we always view it as today we're getting married. God teaches us this pathway through the powerful prophetic words in our Haftarah. Ve'erastich li la'olam. Thank you so much for listening. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.
Thank you.